A U.S. lawyer who sued the Catholic Church over pedophilia among its clergy is now giving up his fight. Bill McMurry says it's impossible to win cases against the Vatican. The attorney made the remarks a day after asking a Kentucky court to dismiss the child abuse case he brought 6 years ago. The suit sought to hold the Vatican accountable for all child sex abuses carried out by Catholic priests in the U.S. The case was filed by 3 men who claimed that they were sexually abused when they were boys. The plaintiffs asked for their case to be dropped after earlier rulings in U.S. courts recognized the Vatican as a sovereign state. That means the Vatican enjoys broad immunity from prosecution. To tell us more, we're joined by Alfred Lambermont-Weber. He's an international lawyer from Vancouver. Welcome to the program, sir. U.S. courts seem to be creating obstacles, as lawyers say, in the way of legal cases against priests who stand accused of pedophilia. Could this lead to a sort of unofficial but effective legal immunity for the criminals?
Well, yes, and this is an entirely improper use of the sovereign immunity doctrine, because in this case, the plaintiffs are suing for sexual abuse crimes committed by religious clergy and by the chief religious overseer, namely the Pope. And so those individuals are held to ethical standards of care and not to the standards of care of a head of state. Those are two different matters, because these Catholics are not citizens of the Vatican, and so what the Vatican and the priests are holding themselves out as are out as ethical, moral, and religious counselors, and so that they have engaged in gross and criminal abuse of trust. And that is the correct legal doctrine, and that is the legal doctrine on which the plaintiffs initially proceeded forward, quite rightly, because there is no other church on the planet that would say, well, I claim that I'm a sovereign state. And so I think it's because 2,000 years ago, actually around 300 A.D., the Roman Empire chose to morph into the Catholic Church when the Roman Emperor actually functionally became the Pope. So here we have an unmasking of the Pope as actually a continuation of the state once known as the Roman Empire. And that's why the Church, the Vatican, namely the Roman Empire, is in such league with modern-day fascists as the City of London, Zionist bankers, and the New World Order war criminals such as George W. Bush and company.
Well, what has gone wrong? Why should the U.S. judicial system be charged with protecting pedophile priests?
Well, because the U.S. government is in deep alliance with the City of London banking. In effect, it still functionally is a colony of the throne of London and the City of London. And that and London and the Vatican State, which is a continuation of the Roman Empire of the year 300 A.D., is functionally continuing as a state of the Vatican. So that's the geopolitics of it. And so now, in order to protect themselves against civil liability of the priesthood, which is one of their side businesses, they have invoked sovereign immunity. But if they were a church, they could not do that. So they have unmasked themselves as, in fact, a continuation of the Roman Empire in league with the City of London and the UK in league with the U.S. in the imperialist wars. And that's why you have a continuity of political interest between the United States and its Supreme Court, which illegally installed George W. Bush as president in the case of Gore versus Bush after the illegal 2000 election in the United States. It is now a plutocracy and no longer a true democracy.
All right, we'll leave it there. Many thanks to Alfred Lamont Weber, an international lawyer from